Welcome to Toyah and Robert, your deeply unqualified agony aunts, willing and very willing to answer as many of your your questions are hurtling in. We can't even get close to a few of them.
Spit it out, Frippy.
All right, now let me say already, my wife has been going at me for her Saturday morning at home. All manner of mayhem is breaking out in the house, so you might find me a little addled, more addled than usual today.
He has husbandly exhaustion.
There we are.
Angela Bronhall, you ask, what is Robert's favourite song of mine and what is yours of his?
Well, that's easy. If you were tuning in last week, you would have heard me singing kind of Sensational. My wife's song Sensational from her album In the Court of the Crimson Queen. I love it. Why? It is affirming, it is positive. I love the sound of it and it gets me on my feet, and even thinking about it, I find I'm already beginning to groove.
Mine is Prince Rupert's Lament. I love it live. I love the drama of it. I love how it breaks down to the very morose drum. I think it's gorgeous. But I also love songs that my husband sings. Blue Suede Shoes is an absolute treat, and over Christmas I will persuade him to sing it to you. And I love you singing When I Fall in Love. It's gorgeous. It's just so cute. Joshua Chase, you ask, when one or both of us are being hardcore creative writing, do we lock ourselves away when we're in composing mode and we're up against the time? Do we isolate and cocoon, or do we remain relatively accessible to each other?
How would you approach that, sweetie?
I have a board that blocks entrance into my creative writing space, and it says, do not disturb, and I mean it. I have to lock myself away. Also, we have discussed this week how lunch interrupts our creative day. We only eat lunch, we don't eat in the evening, so it's a dilemma, and that can take 2 hours out the day. How about you?
All right, well, historically, when I've been hardcore writing, I've been abroad. Perhaps my wife thought for many years I lived in Nashville, in the basement of Adrian and Martha Ballew's home. Well, that's my hardcore writing. Here at home, I have my study for writing words and in my cellar for practicing. But may I say, we honour a double standard. When my wife is writing and composing, she's working. When I'm writing and practicing, I'm available for her whims and even to be called out for domination.
Tony Coultry, you ask, is it odd being remembered by so many people you have no earthly way of remembering yourselves?
Well, you're the star in this house, lovey.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I would.
I meet a lot of people. I do so many films and TV where you have to get to know people so quickly and you instantly fall into trusting relationships. I am not good at remembering names, so I always can you hear the magpies are fighting outside the door. I always ask people to, when they come up to me and say, hello, how are you? Do you remember this? I say, can you put it in context? Because I am rubbish at names, and I'm actually quite well known for not being able to hold names because I remember images. How about you?
Well, firstly, how on earth can a person who grows up in public know what people think of them? Well, firstly, you have the press, for example, but is the press a reliable way of expressing who and what you are? Recently, there's been a lot more online commentary, and if I believe the received opinion of press and online commentary, Fripp is serious, humourless, and a really nasty, unkind person to fans. Now, what do you do with this received opinion? Well, firstly, you might put on a tutu and do a dance to Swan Lake at the end of your garden. Or secondly, you might live in the centre of a really wonderful small English country town, go out the front door, walk down the high street with your neighbours all around you and shop at Tesco's.
Have I got the meaning wrong then?
No.
Is it odd being remembered by so many people you have no earthly way of remembering yourself?
You've got it right, dear.
Okay.
And I've just gone with a different slant of the same approach.
Now, this leads on really well to Dawn Boland's question. I was wondering how long it takes to put together the Toyah and Robert videos. Okay, I try and plan 4 weeks ahead because then it just gives us Robert time to practice the guitar he wants to play and me to create the image. And sometimes we have to set up things like ordering stuff online. I have to go and check the light at certain times of day. So for the last couple of Sunday lunch films, we've had to work at 4 and 5 in the afternoon for the sun to hit the windows. Which has been really exciting because we don't normally work at those times creatively. Robert is always quite...
I'm a morning man.
He's a morning man. So, but sometimes my gorgeous husband will actively sabotage what we're doing. And he says he doesn't, but on last Sundays we did 15 takes because I was telling him, you're not playing the harmonic chord structure properly. And his reply was very polite, and it was, what do you know about harmonic chord structure?
That is not my answer. I dispute my wife's recounting of this story.
So by the 15th take of me running up and down the stairs, you will notice I'm like... So what's your take on it?
All right, this is it. You must ask a musician to play what they hear.
Will you play what you hear? There, I've asked you.
All right, you really got me, the Kinks. Stunning, all right? Chords involved. G, F, G. A, G, A. D, C, D, C. Fine. Well, I heard it another way. I heard it with instead of the notes F, G, A, C, D, I heard it. So we've had G, F, G, B flat, A flat, B flat, and I love the E flat, E flat,
Try
E flat,
singing
E
to it.
flat, C. So the notes involved are F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat. Now, that's the way I heard it. Slightly differently to the classic, but I have sufficient confidence in my wife as a trooper and very exceptionally experienced singer to be able to run with it. But my wife was running literally up and downstairs all the time, so it was a bit of an undertaking.
So in answering your question, Dawn, for this, we just sit down and do it because we want this to be conversational. But I will say, okay, last Sunday was an adventure, but when we did Lark's Tongues in Aspic...
The last time's been Aspic Part 4 on the second floor of another building.
That was the one and only take. We sat down, I said, Robert, I'm going to be doing this around you. That's the only take. It was so utterly breathtaking what Robert did. There was no point doing it again. That was it. We didn't know what we were going to do. All I knew was Robert was going to play and I was going to use the colour red against the yellow of the room, and we turned on the camera and magic happened. Then when we followed it the following week, what was the tune? Lark's Tongue?
We did it on the
first floor.
The first floor.
Okay, we did it on a Thursday and we decided the colour...
Oh, fractured. Oh, fractured. Oh, an ordeal. Impossible to play.
So we did it on a Thursday and I decided what I was wearing was dark. So we waited 24 hours till the next day where I introduced blue and pink because I really love clashing colours. And we did it again, and it was okay. Did you do a bollocks in it?
Yes.
So, you know, sometimes the magic happens. 2-2 just happened like that. I got my husband down to the riverside, put him in a tutu and said, right, you're going to dance to this. And he just entered into the spirit of it. But sometimes we do need to just look at it and think, no, we're going to do that again. And we will wait till the lighting's right. But, you know, it's all a learning curve. So thank you, Dawn. That was a really great question. Now, Richard Kohela, it's me again, am I reading?
Richard Curler, probably.
Richard Curler, you say, what do you recommend when dealing with earworms?
Well, what do you do?
Well, if it's an earworm, obviously something's repetitive in your head. We all get that. I always recommend people stop what they're doing and they read Everything You Need to Know by David Icke, which is so arresting of your attention and really utterly incredible that your earworm will not have a chance of getting your attention.
Well, my recommendation is listen more closely to your earworm. Listen and engage with your earworm. Then you develop a relationship. You might look at this closely. Why is this earworm worming away in here? But engaged with it, with your attention actively involved in this engagement, you then have choices. You can, for example, move your attention away and ignore the little beast.
Okay, but some people get earworms with a pop song and they just think, I really don't want this earworm.
Then listen to it more closely and find what it is in that song which is speaking to you. Do you wish to engage further or direct your attention away?
Okay, well, before we go to your magic card, we've got one more question and it's so important. It really is important. Mary Beth Abel, Toyah, where can I get one of the black shorts bodysuits you wear? I totally want one and I'm pretty sure I can't rock it as well as you. I'm sure you can, Mary Beth. So, Amazon, and this isn't a paid advert, and it's called a familiarly sexy workout outfit for women, 2 pieces, seamless yoga leggings, short sleeve t-shirt top and shorts set. I love that description. And I wear a black teddy under it because I'm 62 and I really do not want to show my midriff. And I bet all women watching will look fantastic in it. So, let's do the magic chords today.
Well, I've been wondering about this. We've had lots of magic chords lately. I don't know how much this interests.
He's rewriting it again. Go on.
I can be on the spur of the moment here. Well, I have no idea quite what to do. So one of the things we might do is go back to a magic fairy fingers from a little earlier. Does anyone remember? Bollocks. And its variations. And the third variation, or rather the second variation. So we're moving. So if we take a basic form, what we're going to do is extend one more string, as in. I like that. Oh. So there we are. That's the magic fairy fingers of this week.
So, any ladies out there who can't take part in the magic fairy fingers, because like me, you've got hammers for hands, I've invented a dance that I introduced on Toyah at home this morning called the prog rock mating dance. So, all that you have to do, and I find this goes down, just put your legs together, darling. Just listen to your wife. All you have to do for the prog rock mating dance is think you're in a Morris man, and as your husband is ignoring you or doing the cooking or whatever, this is the prog rock mating dance. My feet are really, really ugly close up. Prog rock mating dance. Stay safe, everybody. We're thinking of you. Remember, keep talking, don't bottle it up, and we'll see you tomorrow for Toyah and Robert's Sunday lunch.
Help.